Are your mornings super stressful as you try to drag your kids out of bed and get them out the door in time for school? Well, watch this video because in it, I'm sharing how to make your mornings run super smoothly so you can be on time every single time and never have to yell at your kids. I'm so glad that you landed on my channel because on here, I show up every single week sharing tips with you about how to balance life as a mom, how to get out of debt when you're a spender, and simplifying business tips in a way that nobody else is talking about. So make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification so that you find out every time I post a new video. If you are dreading school mornings and trying to get out the door on time, in this video, you are going to learn my 5 morning hacks that have worked flawlessly for us to get out the door every single time, even with 4 kids, including twin toddlers. If it works for me, I know it'll work for you. All right, so first up, you need to set the expectation. Your child needs to know what they need to have done before you can leave in the morning. Now, logically, as parents, we can say, it's the same thing every single day. Why can they not just do this themselves? But you know as well as I do, our kids don't care about getting out the door on time. They care about doing what they want to do. And so by setting the expectations, they know when they wake up what they are expected to do before they can go and do what they want. Now, as a part of that, your expectations need to actually be written out. So why is that? Why do you need to have either on a piece of paper written out or posted somewhere on the wall, or you can even have pictures that show somebody brushing their teeth and that's their visual cue that that is what's expected of them. The reason why you want to have something visual or something written is because now all of a sudden it's not a battle of the wills between you and your child. It is simply saying, hey, did you check your list? Did you check what your morning routine is? You need to make sure you have all those things done. There's no argument. If they say, well, I don't want to brush my teeth. Well, you know, it's on the list. So I'm not the ruler of that. That's what's expected. So it's so cool because now all of a sudden there is no argument whatsoever. You just always refer to the list. That's the rules. I'm super sorry, but we have to have done what's on there. So the really cool thing about that is by planning this ahead, you're doing intentional parenting. And I know for me, when I just kind of fly by the seat of my pants versus when I am actually intentional, man, I feel like a better mom. And I don't know why that is, but I know I like it, so I keep it up. The second thing is you need to reward them for being on time. So what I actually do is I have 3 separate times as the parent that I know are our goal times to leave. We have time number 1, which is 30 minutes before I actually want to leave. And at that time, if they are ready to go, ready to walk out the door, then they get a reward. It's the same reward every single day so that there's no bargaining, there's no argument. It is if they're ready on time, you determine what's right for your family. Whether it is they get to go to school early to have playtime with their kids, whether it's watching a show on TV, whatever it is, there is no judgment here at all. You got to do what works for you. And you may find that a reward is not working because your child's never ready at the reward time. And you need to go back and assess, either you need to get them up earlier or you've picked the wrong reward. And you may need to adjust that. So make sure to leave me a comment below and let me know, what are you thinking about for your reward? Do you already have a reward? What really is going to resonate with your child? So that's time number 1, is our ideal time. Be ready to walk out the door here and you get to have a reward. Time number 2 is still 15 minutes before I want to leave. And with that second time, they know that, okay, you didn't get your reward, so you still need to be ready to get out the door in 15 minutes. Your child will only know about these 2 times. The third time is if they haven't met that second time, we still want a stress-free morning. But let's be honest. we're going to be realistic parents here. And we know that there are going to be days that our child is just not with it. And so we still want to be able to get out the door without yelling at our kids. So if they didn't hit the 30 minutes ahead mark, they didn't make the 15 minutes ahead mark, well, then they start losing privileges and get straight into the vehicle, and you gather up your things and leave. Okay, so the third thing we're going to talk about is you need to enforce with responsibility. Now, what I mean by that is that you're not nagging them, you're not getting after them or yelling at them. They're responsible for getting their stuff done. They know what's expected of them. And so now all of a sudden, as we talked barely about earlier, you are just referencing that list. Hey, have you gotten that done yet? Are you through your list? Are you ready to walk out the door? Oh, no? Oh, okay. Well, I guess you're choosing not to have the reward. If you don't want it, that's totally fine with me. So you work on how you talk with them, where you're encouraging them to be responsible. Now, you might be tempted to step in and do some of their tasks for them or help them with it, but if at all possible, try to avoid this, because right now we are doing more than just trying to get out the door on time. We are teaching our kids how to be responsible and how to be responsible adults. Like all through life, we are training up our kids to be adults. And so when you step in and you nag them, yell at them, or do things for them, you're not setting them up for success. So you need to empower them and just encourage them. If they're saying they can't do something, you say, well, you know what? You are an awesome problem solver. I know you can figure this out, and I know you'll be able to do it fast so we can get out the door and you can still have your reward. So always being encouraging will actually cause them to react more positively and react faster. It's a really neat thing to watch. Now, we are going through this training and we are learning how to get our kids into a routine, but there are still routines for us as moms that will make or break our day, make or break our ability to get our kids out the door on time. So make sure to check the description for my video where I go through hacks for setting up mom routines that are super easy. Now, the fourth point is that you actually want to start your morning the day before. And what I encourage you to do is you grab your written plan that you're working on and establish milestones that are doing something to prepare you for the next morning. So for example, if your kids come home, they do their homework at the table. When they're done, they need to have their backpack packed up, on the hook, ready to go in the morning. And that will ensure that you're not running around in the morning trying to find the missing pieces of homework that somehow got lost. It's all ready to go. And even right before bed, you can do things like setting out your clothes, your child setting out their clothes in the morning. And I will give you a tip. You will love me for this tip. If your kids have a tendency to wear the same underwear over and over and over like mine did, then part of your routine is not only do you pick out your clothes, but hey, do you have clean underwear in that? That has been a problem solver, such a great thing. So anyways, you are going to be going through your list to figure out what can you do after school, what can you do after supper, what can you do right before bed that are little things that are going to make your mornings way easier. And if you want more information like that, leave me a comment if you want to see actual examples of what I have for our routines, and I would be happy to share that with you. And the last thing we're going to talk about is to equip them to be independent. That means giving them little tasks that they can do completely on their own all throughout the day. And the reason why this is so important is because it actually reinforces them to take responsibility and ownership and following their routines, especially that morning routine. So a couple really simple things that you can equip them to do is letting them know after meals they need to get their dishes, bring them over to the counter. If they forget, just call them back and say, hey, you forgot to do that, and encourage them to do it then. They can brush their own teeth where they're doing it all themselves, and then they come to you to just double check it. They can fill their own cups before going to bed. You can even have them doing really small chores around the house. Something as simple as if you use like the Norwex dusting mitt, they can just slip that on their hand, literally wipe the surface with their hand, and they're done. So little things like that are super, super easy. They encourage your child. Our kids really thrive when they have something that gives them a little responsibility. And you'll find that the more you do this and praise them for it, then the better they're going to do following their morning routines. All right, so now you know how to get your kids out of bed and out the door on time for school every single day. But what about those times in the day when you're running errands with your kids and things go awry? How do you keep your cool? Well, I've put together the Busy Moms Outing Survival Checklist, where I share my must-haves anytime I'm going to leave the house with all 4 kids with me. It has been a huge lifesaver to me, whether we're sitting in the doctor's office or we're out doing grocery shopping or even just doing a fun activity with the kids. So make sure to grab that free checklist using the link in the description below. And if you want to join a community of women just like you, make sure to head over to the Facebook group where I take members through trainings every single week where we really go in depth on topics of business and on getting out of debt and on motherhood. So I hope to see you there. Again, that link is in the description below. Don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends, because you are a mom, you've got friends that are moms, and we are all just struggling to figure out the best way to parent without getting stressed. And also don't forget to subscribe so that you get notified the next time I post a video.